What is going on, YouTube people? Northeast Ohio Sports Cards here for a PSA submission reveal. That's right. PSA churning out the orders all of a sudden out of complete nowhere. And the weird thing about this, well, we'll get into it in a second. So YouTube stuff down below, like, comment, sub. Don't forget the eBay affiliate link. If you guys and girls are going to make any eBay purchases, just do me a favor, click the little link, takes you to the eBay homepage, and then search for, go buy whatever it is that you are going to buy. And I get a very small percentage. So this order, PSA. So this order was a regular service order. I'm just pulling up the dates to verify. Okay. This was entered in the PSA on 3/9. I got it back. I am recording this right before the NFL draft on 4/29. Regular service, $50 per card. The weird part that makes no sense to me was, they have an express order from me, which is $75 per card and air quotes faster turnaround time, which they got on 3/3, entered in on 3/3. Which was 6 days earlier. And I still don't have that one back yet. I don't even have grades for it yet. It's sitting in QA2. And this regular order was beating the express order the entire time. So I don't know. I have no idea. None whatsoever. So this was a $50 per card order. There was a preview submission video for this one on the channel back in mid-February. And this is all 1990 Marvel Universe. I got the grades. I am team look, not team no look. So I know what I got. This order, I'm going to say, unfortunately, went exactly how I expected it to go. I was not surprised at all by the results on this. If you watch that video back, I had basically said, I need one or two of these to 10 and I'm golden. These were a lot of what I would say are semi-borderline cards in regards to PSA 9 to 10. They all had some like minor centering issues, some both ways, some one way, et cetera, et cetera. We'll get into it. But this order went exactly how I expected it to go. Or at least a version of it. I was not, there's one grade that I'm truly stunned by, and I cannot figure it out at all. So I'll be curious to see if I can see anything on it. First up, we have an Incredible Hulk. I believe this is the gray version. No, green version. This got a PSA 8. Not surprised. I even said, I think on the submission video when I got this, I was very concerned about this one because the centering is off left to right and top to bottom. So let me zoom in a little bit here. So I'm not shocked that this got the 8. You know, it's fat on the left, fat on the bottom, thin on the top, thin on the right, and it pulled the 8. I'm not sure what I'll do with this one. I would be surprised if I could even get the grading feedback out of this. I might be able to get $50 for it. I don't know. I have to see. I've not checked. I've not dug way in the comps. But I may end up just keeping this one. If I can't get my money back out of it, then I'll probably just keep it. I've talked about before, maybe putting a set together of all graded stuff. And anything that I get back that are in like these random PSA 8s, etc., might be a good way to start that off for a full graded set. So that's card number 1. Card number 2, Captain America's motorcycle. Unfortunately, all my Cap stuff had, like my main Cap cards, all had issues. This is the closest thing I had that looked okay. And this pulled a PSA 9. Once again, not super surprising. She's off left to right and slightly top to bottom. Not as bad as the Hulk was. So I was not surprised to see this get a 9. And once again, there could be other things that I'm slightly missing. Like maybe, I'm not saying it's exactly the centering why I did not get 10s on these. It's purely speculation on my part because that's what I noticed before I sent them in. I thought in general, everything else looked pretty okay. So that pulled a 9. I think other than, I don't know if I even saw any 9 comps on this one. but most of the other stuff in here in nines is doing about 100 to 125 bucks, with the exception of a couple. So next up, Black Panther. I did not have a great Black Panther. This would have won. This is one that in a PSA 10 sells really strong, but it pulled the 9. Once again, centering, I believe anyway. It's pretty thin on the right, a lot thicker on the left. Top to bottom, not too bad, but not perfect. And this pulled the 9. Not super surprising, like I said. I think the last comp I saw on this was around 200-ish, which is fine. You know, so this order cost me $530. And I think I should be able to pull a profit, no problem out of it. You know, depending on what the one bigger card sells for. Next up, we have a Wolverine. We have a bunch of Wolverines. That was the primary card in this submission, was different versions of Wolverine. This is the patch version. This is the least desirable of the 3. This pulled a 9. These have been going for about 75 to 80, I think, at best offer buy it now. Anything less than that, if I could not get at least my 50 back out of this, I'll just keep this. Once again, centering, you can see it's pretty thin on the bottom, pretty thick on the top. Left to right don't look too bad. But the top to bottom probably got me. And like I said, I very well could be missing something else small that and that very small thing in combination with centering being off caused it to get the 9 instead of the 10. Next up, another Wolverine. This is the brown suit Wolverine, and we have 2 of these. So this is the first one. This pulled a 9. Noticing a trend here. Once again, stop me if you've heard this one before. Thick on the right, thin on the left. So we're off center left to right, and top to bottom is not perfect. It's just slightly off, not much. But left to right is definitely off. It's noticeable. So once again, I'm assuming that's what knocked this down to a 9. The visual eye appeal will get you on a lot of these cards. So these in a 9 looked like they were going for between 90 and like 120, 125. So that's not too bad. I'll still double up my money on this, potentially. Once again, I don't like to assume how much I've made back from an order until I actually sell the stuff, because it's a trap a lot of people fall into. It is not profit until it's actually in your bank account. Another brown suit. This one pulled the 10. I'm curious side by side. I actually think, well, they're close. They are very close. This one is off left to right, but I don't think it's as off as the 9 is, and top to bottom looks a little better. And once again, assuming they didn't see something else that they didn't like, maybe a little thing on a corner or something like that. And these were, for anyone new to the channel or whatever, these were all pack pulled by me. And I did multiple reviews on when I pulled them, after I pulled them, the stuff that I thought could 9 or 10. And then there's a submission, but there's about 3 or 4 videos just on this set of cards. So that one pulled a 10. And like I said, I think the last one of these sold for around 1,200 or 1,300. We'll see if I can get that. I don't know. You never know on these. But I feel confident that I should be able to get a pretty good number back out of this, that it will make all this just gravy in the grand scheme of things. So we will see what she does, but really nice looking card. I really like the way these look in slabs. I know the PSA slab is nothing fancy, but there's just, I don't know what it is. There's just something about seeing these cards from my childhood slabbed up that just, I don't know, makes them hard to get rid of. So maybe I'll end up keeping one of the 9s on this one. We'll see. I really like the artwork on this card as well. I think this is the best of the 3 cards, which is probably why it sells for the most. So that's the 110 that we got. And then we got the 1/8 down here floating around. We'll make separate piles. This is 2, the yellow and blue classic suits. Both pulled 9s. Camera does not want to cooperate today. Both pulled 9s. Once again, these go for around 100 and some, give or take. And once again, I think this one, centering got me. You could see top to bottom is off. It's pretty thin on the top, pretty thick on the bottom. Right to left's not terrible. This one, which I just noticed this now, like literally as I picked this up, centering's actually pretty good on this one. It's a little thin on the bottom, a little thin on the left. I don't think you're going to be able to see this on the camera at all, but I notice a little bit of I don't know, this edge looks a little funky right here, in my opinion, with the way the light's hitting it. Just a little bit. So I'm wondering if that's what got me on this one. Look, a combination of this plus the centering, because I actually think the centering's, it's not great on this. It's not perfect. It is slightly off two ways, but I am noticing that little bit of edge now, and that causes it to get a 9. So once again, I mean, they're, you know, I'm not going to say they're grading these tough, because this is exactly kind of how I thought this order would go. But I think this still just goes to show you how hard it is to get these in 10s. You know, the average gem rate so far has been about 20 to 20, or like around 25% since I started tracking it in the beginning of February. I haven't updated the spreadsheet in about a week and a half. Maybe I'll do an update for Marvel Mondays. I'm not sure when this video is going to post yet. So maybe Saturday morning. We'll save this one. We sent a Stan Lee. I did not think this card looked perfect. The only reason I sent it was just for the off chance. My guess on this was maybe a 9, and it came back an 8, which I think is fair. It is off-centered pretty heavily, top to bottom and right to left. It's a little worse top to bottom than it is right to left, but I'm not shocked that this got the 8. You can see how thin that is down at the bottom, that white border compared to the top. And like I said, it's also off left to right. I normally would not submit cards like this that are off that far in 2 different directions, because I think it's going to be really hard to get a 9. But because it was a Stan Lee, I figured it was worth the shot to see if it pulls a 9. Even in an 8, I think these are doing over $100. So, you know, if I get $100 for it, I paid 50 to grade it, you know, subtract fees, this, that, and the other thing, I should still be able to make even just $20 on it is fine. You know, when you factor in the other stuff in the order, all those little $20 to $40 profits add up and help cover up for the ones that you really missed on. So that pulled an 8. The biggest card in the order that was the mistake was the Hulk. I really didn't think this was going to get a 9. I don't know why I sent it. I think I even said in the video, I'm really flinging for this one. All right, last card. This is the one that I don't understand. I still don't understand. I glanced at it really quick. This is an X-Men team one. I was actually really excited about this one. This almost made my express order batch, and I ended up sending it in this one. So you could see the back. I mean, looks pretty good. You know, all the corners. I thought the corners all looked pretty good. I know this is tough to see on camera, but like, I mean, you don't see like anything super crazy noticeable on the corners on this card. You know, I'll use the glare here to an advantage. I don't see any like creases, dimples, surface issues, etc. So I'm gonna, let's do this. Hide the grade on this one for a second. So once again, here's the front. So there's your corners. Little piece of plastic. And then here's the, you know, it's hard to tell surface once they're slabbed, but you know, you use the glare. Like personally, and once again, I know this is nearly impossible for you guys and girls to tell on the video, but like, I don't see any. So moving that light around, like I'm not seeing any major surface issues or anything. At least not me. Unless, is that? Okay. Do you see where? Right here. Riveting entertainment here. Now the macro doesn't want to work. I thought maybe I saw, where was it? No. I thought I saw maybe a surface issue there. So, I don't know. What is your guess? And there's centering. So centering looks, I mean, pretty good. There's way worse centered cards in here. What's your guess on what this card got? I will give you a moment to leave a comment. Just having, and once again, I know it's nearly impossible to grade these, you know, self-grade these things in person, let alone through audio, video, or a photo or whatever. But just rough guess, what do you think of this card got? And you're probably going to guess wildly one way or another because I'm obviously making a big deal about it. So, all right, spoiler alert over. A 6. I am absolutely baffled why this card got a 6. And they don't give grader notes or anything, so there's nothing like that for me to know. It is, I mean, it's slightly off left to right, but I had way worse cards in there that were more off-center than this. Like I said, there has to be something surface related that I missed. That's the only thing I can think of. There has to be like a crease or an indent, something. I keep thinking I see something right. So do you see where it says team pitchers and the P in pitchers? And there's like a line that cuts down from the bottom of the P into Gambit's hair. See what I'm talking about there? Almost looks like there's 3 of them. There's one in the middle that goes right in the Gambit's hair, one right below the black line by Gambit and Forge's head, and one just to the left of Gambit's head. That's the only thing I can see. I don't even know what that is. But beyond that, it looks pretty clean. So I have no idea why this got a 6. Needless to say, I'll be holding on to this one. And the X-Men are my favorite MCU property or Marvel property. I'm the biggest fan of the X-Men over anyone else. So I have absolutely just no problem throwing this up as a display piece next to some CGC graded comic books. No issue with that whatsoever. So, but yeah, that's all I got for you guys and girls. A 6, 2 8s, a pile of 9s, and a single 10. So we'll see how the sales go. I'll report back. I am keeping track of everything, even from the initial order. And then, like I said, I have another, I think it's a 6-card express order that should be, I'm waiting for grades to pop basically any minute. I should be seeing those back. And then I have the last batch that I have at PSA is an 8-card order, but we probably won't see that for a while. That got sent in the rush of, oh my God, there's a price increase coming. So it's in the glut of all the junk that they got right before the prices increased March 1st. That got, just to show you how crazy this is. So that was a regular order. This regular order I sent, they got it on they got it on 220 and it got entered into the system on 3/9. So 17 days. The one I sent on 3/4 during the rush of orders, it arrived 3/4. I sent that out the day or two before March 1st. And it took them a few days to get it checked in because that was when everything was getting lost at the post office. So it arrived at PSA on 3/4. It did not get entered until 4/16. So almost 6 weeks to get it entered into the system. So I have a feeling I probably won't see that one until, I bet you, August at the earliest. I'd be surprised. And that one has a lot of Series 2 stuff in it. So But yeah, that's all I got for you guys and girls. Like, comment, subscribe, YouTube stuff down below. Don't forget the eBay affiliate link. Market Movers is down there too. We didn't use it in today's video. But yeah, that's all I got. Catch you on the next one. Peace.